time. Something has got to happen because we can no longer go down the path that we're going down. This country won't last another 6 months. This country won't last another 12 months if something doesn't happen. So it's time to flip the switch. It's time to get involved. It's time to move the line forward. And if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. So I don't care what flip the switch is. I don't care if that means that all of this nonsense is nonsense, or if some of it's true. All right. Welcome. Real quick, just want to say thank you to Blazing Angel for the super chat. The righteous shall walk by faith and not by sight. Faith is the substance of the things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. God's got this. Thank you for that super chat. What a way to start Friday night off. So welcome, Warriors, World Patriots, and my fellow Americans. My name is Mike. I'm the host of the Liberty Warrior. Give me liberty or give me death. When tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. And I'll tell you what, tonight's special edition, here we go. We're going to flip the switch tonight for you guys. I'm laying it all on the we're laying it all on the line tonight. Because honestly, I'm sick and tired of what I see. I'm sick and tired of what I'm hearing. And I'm going to call it for what it is. and I got a couple of surprise guests tonight. I sent out invitations to three. Two of them contacted me back and said they'd try to be here. So I know one is going to be here for sure. I'm pretty sure the other one will be here as well. The third, we'll see. We'll see what happens. She's pretty busy lady. So we'll see what happens. But listen, I know you guys have been missing us on Friday night, Saturday night. I just can't do it anymore with all the stuff that I got going on. It's really hard to find the time to put in for Friday and Saturday night. So I'm kind of bored tonight, so to speak, because I'm not in South Idaho, and Cammie is not here with me this weekend because I got my daughter's graduation tomorrow, which is a huge accomplishment for my oldest daughter. So I took this weekend off, and I'm here. And I thought, you know what? It's a special day. I've been listening to a lot of newscasts this afternoon while I was working in the greenhouse. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. Podcasts are really nice to listen to while you're working. And so was listening to all this stuff. It really got to my emotions. It really stirred me, some of the stuff that they're trying to pull. And I'm going to highlight that for you guys tonight. And so will my guest. If you guys like us showing up on Friday night, hit that like button, share this out, let everybody know. It is a special edition tonight, and we'll see where this goes. We really will. So buckle up, hold on. We got a lot of information to talk about tonight, and there's some stuff that I just want you guys to be aware of. I keep putting it out there. There's some snakes in the grass, and I'm about to put the heel to the head. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Tammy is with us tonight. She is one of my surprise guests. I'm waiting for the other gentleman to show up. He said he'll be in chat here shortly. So he's got the invite. I'm going to go ahead and bring Tammy in because we're going to start the conversation on a few of the topics that we want to cover tonight. So tonight we're going to cover the Second Amendment, and we're going to cover what they're trying to do right now, the bills that they're trying to pass, and the things that the rhetoric that they're throwing around right now. That's dangerous rhetoric, and I want you guys to be aware of that. We're going to cover Durham and the connection with Durham and the whole Sussmann trial and what's going on with that and some of the things that I heard today. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Putin, and we're going to talk about something that he has going on with him right now. We're going to talk about the biolabs. We're going to talk about Hunter Biden, his connection with that. And we're also going to talk about what Monkey put out today too, and some stuff that I wasn't aware of, and Jeff brought it to my attention this afternoon. So that's something else that I want to bring up, and whatever else my guest would like to talk about tonight, we're going to just bring it. So let's bring Tammy the Hammer Nation in.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm doing fabulous tonight. How are you, Tammy?
I'm doing really good. I'm fired up too. You know, it was one of those days that this is perfect timing. I'm going to say I like Mike being bored, because when you're bored, then we get to do a show and we get to vent all our frustrations out on what's going on and share out there what's going on and our experiences and the new stuff that we found. You pulled me off the couch of frustration, so thank you.
You're welcome. And this is the deal. I want to let everybody know. I'm fired up tonight. I'm gonna put the heel to the snake's head tonight. We're gonna call them for what they are. We're gonna just put it out there. I'm putting my ass on the line tonight because honestly, I think it's about high time that we do flip this switch and we start moving the line forward. Not holding the line any longer. I've been saying this for over a year. Holding the line only keeps us stationary. I want to move this line forward. I want to be a part of the spearhead in this movement to really wake people up, to shake people up and say, hey, this is what's going on. This is how you get involved, and keep your faith in God and keep your faith in what's going on, because the conversations that I had this afternoon, there's only one explanation for it. And I have been as skeptic as I possibly can for as long as I possibly can. I've stayed on the fence for as long as I possibly can. Mm-hmm. But no longer can we sit here and just wait for something to happen. I'm going to tell you what's happening. So, Tammy, let's start off with something that got me fired up this afternoon. And I want to talk about the Second Amendment And I want to talk about what it is that the Democrats and the left are really trying to do. Now, for people who sit there and say, "Oh, I don't have to worry about it," Trump's coming back and everything's going to be fine. I totally 100% disagree. I think that's what got us in this situation to begin with. We voted for somebody and thought they were going to go there and make change, and then we took our eyes off the ball and let things happen, and that's why we're in the situation we're in. So no longer am I going to say, well, somebody's going to come in and save us all. We've got to pay attention to what these snakes are doing right now. The snakes in the grass are really working hard. And just so I'm clear with everybody, I don't think for 1 second that they can take our Second Amendment from us. I don't think they can take our firearms from us. I'm clear about that. There's no way possible for them to do that. But I want to highlight the fact that they are trying, and they're trying like hell, and they're going to try to make it even more difficult for law-abiding citizens to own firearms. And that's what I want to spotlight tonight.
That's great because it's a great conversation because I had a conversation with somebody today, Mike, that was all believing into they should take those MR-15s away. Nobody should have those, and we got into this conversation that led to a loud disagreement, shall I say? Because I'm like, the only people that would give that up are the law-abiding people. They would hope, because the bad people aren't going to give it away, and then what? And I was making the fact that it's been a long time that we keep going around this circle of things happen, these different shootings happen in different places, and then the politicians want to take the guns away, but they never do anything to make a difference and make a change by having well-trained people that can handle weapons in stores, in churches, in schools. Nothing ever gets done. It's like a vicious circle. And to me, that should have been taken care of a long time ago. And this is just another excuse to just have more control. So it wasn't a good talk, I guess you'd say, and I got stressed out over it because people believe so much of that hype. I said, play back in your mind, how many times have these different shootings or incidents happened and then nothing changes, but them wanting to take our guns away? What does that tell you?
Well, in my opinion, I think certain things are played out. I'll just put it that way. Certain things are played out for a reason, for this one purpose right here, which is to come after our Second Amendment. When the shell of a man makes statements that your Second Amendment is not absolute, and a matter of fact, folks, if you really want me to kick the fire or kick the gas can on the fire tonight, he's also said that none of our rights are absolute. And if that doesn't fire you up, nothing will. When somebody in that position makes a statement that's so ludicrous, and yes, I don't really think there's anything that this man can do about it. I think there's way too many of us and way too little of them. But for him to go on and say that your Second Amendment right is not absolute, and a matter of fact, none of your rights are absolute, that tells me, and I've said this many times, and I'm going to continue to say it, the only thing that is keeping us between full-blown communism here in America is the Second Amendment. If you want to fight for the First Amendment, by all means, please do. But if we don't have that Second Amendment, the First Amendment ain't going to be crap anyway, and they're going to take every amendment away from us. So that's why I'm so fired up tonight, is because everybody has to realize how important that Second Amendment is. We're going to go into some of the details of the Second Amendment tonight and some of the things that are being said, because I don't think people really realize some of the statistics that are behind some of these mass killings that are going on. I think people are unaware of what really the numbers are. And once I tell you what those numbers are, it's really going to piss you off, because this is nothing more than an attack to come after law-abiding citizens and forcing us and playing to our emotions to get us to actually turn over our weapons, because they know damn well they can't take them.
Exactly. And so you stop and think about it. Look at all the people coming across the border. They aren't checked for anything. Look at all the drugs that are coming across the border. You think if they would care about us and our safety, they would close that up and ensure that the drugs and the guns and everything coming through the border would be sealed off, but they don't. It's hypocrisy, and it's a half telling you the truth, it's a half-assed twisted story that they shoot over the TV. And unfortunately, Mike, a lot of people buy into it. You don't have to like guns, but I'll tell you what, who do you call when you're in trouble or somebody's breaking in your house? If you can't arm yourself, you call police. Do you not? They have guns, do they not? But sometimes they're too late. Sometimes you need to be able to protect yourself in that moment because you never know. Just not far from me, it was probably a mile away, there was at a CVS store, there was a shooting. And granted, they knew each other, but the thing is, that kind of stuff doesn't happen in this small little town that I am. And that's a store that I go to. So granted, he may have not been aiming at me, but if I would have been there in the crossfire, that's not a good sign either. But the thing is, Mike, these thugs, these people that want to do damage and cause harm in society and create this fear, no, they don't face consequences. No, they can get away with it because people aren't armed is like they need to be. And these Dems get these people out. It's just infuriating. And when it gets close to home, it really gets infuriating. And they don't pay attention to these cities, these Democratic run cities that have multiple shootings every weekend. Where's the rage and being mad about that and trying to control that? Those are bad people that probably don't have licensed guns. It's not the NRA people out there doing that. So why aren't they taking
Correct.
those guns and people off the street?
Correct. Well, Biden and Joe and Jill both went to Texas, and they played their little skit where they showed up for flowers at the feet of what happened there in Texas. And so that was them pushing their narrative, but you don't see them showing up in Chicago when kids lose their lives every day in Chicago and they don't do
Yes.
anything about it. So here's some of the numbers. The numbers are this. Only 3% of all murders in America are done by AR-15s. 3%. That doesn't piss you off. It should piss you off. The majority of murders here in America are done by handguns. So this bill that they're trying to push through right now, they're wanting magazines to only be able to hold less than 10 rounds. What does that mean? That means guys like me, guys like you, women like you who have Glock 19s and other sidearms that carry a 13-round clip, guess what? They're now going to become illegal and a felony to have. Now, you can't just rush out and buy a 6 or 7 round magazine for a Glock 19 or any of those weapons. So they're attacking everything. Everything. Okay. Semi-automatics. They call that an assault weapon. Well, handguns are semi-automatic. AR-15s are
Wow.
semi-automatic. There are certain shotguns that are semi-automatic. 22s are semi-automatic. So unless you own a revolver, a 6-shooter, pretty much everything out there that Americans have are going to become illegal. That's what they want to do. I don't think it's going to get there. I'm going to fight like hell to make sure it don't. But I'm just telling you, that's what these guys are pushing right now. And this is what they said. They went on record and said, we're done with the American people. Listen to me.
Wow.
They're done with you, Tammy. They're done with me. They're done with the Patriots. They're done with the conservatives. They're done with the Republicans. From now on, the Democrats are going to run this damn country, and they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that all weapons are taken away from the American people. Now, we know what they did November of 2020 to do whatever it takes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm so fired up about tonight, that I want people to realize. They went on record and said they will do whatever it takes. Wake the hell up, America.
Well, that's what people aren't understanding, Mike. And I'm so glad you brought up the point about the handguns and stuff, because people are under the false presumption that it is the AR-15s and stuff, that it's all those. It's not. It's all these
It's
other ones you're talking
It's
about.
everything.
See,
Everything.
and that is what they slide under the radar there, because they show and they cover all this mass stuff, right? Which is a tragedy, of course, but they don't take care of the issue at hand. They just want to wipe everything out. And like I said before, these people are not good people that are doing this. It's the criminals that they aren't cracking down on, the ones that get away with it week after week, day after day. And it just blossoms from there. And how about let's take it a step further, Mike, the mental health institutions that have gone away. These people, some of them need mental health help and, can be easily paid off to do these things as well. And they need treatment. So it isn't the normal guy like you going out there causing the problems. It is the troublemakers, the people that have mental health issues. And that's the issue that we need to take care of, not yanking out these weapons from everybody. It's ridiculous. And it infuriates me.
Well, this is the other thing. These are the same people that allowed the summer of blood of 2020 to happen. These are the same people that allowed Chaz to happen and all the stuff that happened in the summer of 2020. These are the same people that want to defund the police. They want to defund the police, but yet they don't want to up the security in our schools to help our children and protect our children. They want to unarm the American citizen, the people that are law abiding. They want to take our weapons, but yet these are the same people that have their own security. And guess what they have? They have the Glocks. They have the 15-round magazines in their Glocks. They carry AR-15s with 30-round magazines. These are the people. These are hypocrites. These are the people that are telling us, Tammy, you're not allowed to protect yourself, but I'm allowed as a politician to have paid security that Tammy is paying for with her taxes to carry these weapons. And yes, you can own a cannon. Just so you guys know, you can own a cannon. The Constitution and the Second Amendment was not written for deer hunters. It was not written for us to go out and hunt deer. It was written to protect the United States citizen against its own government.
And I'm going to clap with you on that, because in my discussion today, one of the people, that was their big statement that, you don't deer hunt with those kind of things. You don't need them. So if you look at the Constitution, just what you said, I'm telling you what, kudos to you on that, Mike, because I wish I would have thought to bring up that point at the moment, but I was a little fired up and that went over my head some, because that is the truth. That's what it's for. And, with what's happening with the government and all the different things going on now more than ever, the way these criminals are running through the streets and going in stores and breaking in and getting stuff, not even having consequences, and they let them go, is ridiculous. Even where I live now, the stores, a lot of the stores, they have those chain like cages that go down over the stores to lock them, and then at the Verizon store, like a month ago in the plaza, there was a shooting and robbery in there. And I'm like, what is going on? This is a small town that I live in. It's not far from Atlanta. And it's ridiculous, because that's what happens. They travel and go to places that they can get stuff and cause, and get in, get out, and nail stuff. They're not going to stay in their neighborhoods unless it's just what they call child play or the gang initiation, and they go around as hoodlums in the street. But when they want to get like the diamonds, break into the jewelry stores, they want to get the phones, et cetera, et cetera. For some reason, the Victoria's Secret here keeps getting nabbed left and right, left and right. It's like ridiculous, because they have no consequences. But we should feel guilty for having a gun. It's ridiculous.
Here it is. Criminals go to gun-free zones. You made our schools gun-free zones. Of course they're going to go to the schools. You make churches gun-free zones. Of course they're going to go to the churches. Chicago is a gun-free zone. The whole state of New York is a gun-free zone. LA, San Francisco, gun-free zones. Those are the places with the highest crime across America. I mean, it's not even common sense. Just, I'm not a deer hunter. I'm no longer going to consider myself a deer hunter. I'm going to consider myself a tyranny snake hunter. And I don't need an AR-15, and I don't need any firearm. All I need is my cowboy boot heel, and I'm going to stomp the living you-know-what out of those snakes. I'm over this.
I know. And they keep sneaking stuff in. They keep sneaking all this stuff in and then they try to pull it in the middle of the night. This administration voting on this crap in the middle of the night. It's ridiculous. And it's an outrage. They are supposed to be working for us, doing what we would have them do. They represent us. They take the paycheck from us. So how did it get so lopsided on everything? There's a lot of people out there that are not very happy and that are being patient and trying to follow the rules and change things the right way. So the American people, for the most part, the patriots are willing to fight the right way, the legal way. But what's going on is because of the way this country is run with these Democrats and the open borders and stuff, they're letting the criminals get rewarded. The people who do wrong, who make bad judgment calls, who are a danger to society. We talked before, and you had Frank Lopez on talking, Mike, about the different things that go on in those communities that are around that border and the sufferings and the killings, the shootings, the rapes, everything that goes on around that border. So you don't tell me it's sweet, innocent people coming through. Because it's always the criminals that are causing the problems, and they're the ones that get the rewards these days, and it's wrong.
It is the American law-abiding citizen that they always come after first. I want people to know this. There are over 400 million firearms in the United States of America.
Wow.
And the law-abiding citizen is not the problem. The firearms are not the problem. It's politicians and it's policies that are the problem. It's the people that we have voted in that are the problem. They're in there wanting to defund the police and unarm American law-abiding citizens when they're part of the problem. And it's time for us to flip that switch, and it is time to drain the damn swamp, because if we don't, nobody's going to do it for us. Even if Trump came back today, he can't drain the swamp. He can't legally come in there and remove these people. You have to remove these people. It's your job to go to the voting box and to vote these people out and to discern the candidates and vet the candidates that are running for these offices. And you've got to do your job and do your part to get them voted in if they make a good candidate. And it's time for us to quit thinking that somebody's going to do all this for us and roll up our sleeves and get to work, because they are part of the problem. But I want to shift gears here. I want to roll into Durham, and I want to roll into the Sussman trial that just ended last week, and some of the data points that I wanted to bring up tonight, Tammy, because there were some funny things that were said today that I want to drop for people. It came from Dinesh, and I thought it was pretty hilarious. But I'm going to go ahead and let ladies go first if there's anything that you wanted to draw a contrast to when it comes to Durham and how he's, and Jeff said this earlier, he's never lost a case ever except for this one, and how easily it seemed like the jury and the judge just completely almost dismissed this whole thing. So go ahead, Tammy.
Absolutely. Well, my theory is that was the right call because I believe Durham is a genius. He's going after bigger fish. Durham's been around for a very long time. He's not a dumb man. He knew what he was up against holding this in D.C. And we talked about how these people, these jurors live in D.C. and how they vote, et cetera, et cetera. But the bigger thing is, the bigger deal to the story is, don't end it at you're sad and mad that Sussman got let go and found not guilty. Realize the exposure of the three-letter agencies and the HRC people that it got out there, and that's what needed to get out there. There's bigger fish to fry. I believe he's going to fry them, and I believe he has all that he needs to do that. He would not go to bat and battle to do this if he did not. And remember, these people are so egotistical and narcissistic that they believe they would get away with it. It's all in their own handwritten notes and emails to each other. It's not even somebody testifying against them per se. It's in their own handwriting. And you know what? That RICO thing is coming in for Sussman. I'm going to bet on that. I don't think he's going to get away with it either. But I'm sure that he turned belly up and kind of said a few things to the higher ups that are involved in this.
Yeah, here's the deal with Sessman and with Durham. We all know that the juries were handpicked. We all know that the juries, a lot of them actually contributed to the Clinton campaign, which I think that should be a contradiction of interest there. That should have never been allowed. One of them was even a Trump hater. One of them said that they were never going to convict no matter what the evidence was. Another one said, "What does it matter if you lie to the FBI?" Um, we know that the judge was also biased in this whole effort here. I don't think that Durham is an idiot by any means. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. I think he knew the verdict that he was going to get. But I believe he was there to expose more corruption, to expose the FBI, Baker, and multiple people in the FBI that knew about this, that were part of this. He drew the lines to Sessman actually billing the campaign for the hours spent there in that supposed meeting.
Yes.
Um, Baker's dirty. They're all dirty. And I think you're right. I think a lot of people are right. I think they set a trap, and I think that they got caught. And I think there's going to be a whole lot more coming out here real quick. I think that Sessman took a deal. I think Sessman, they took treason off the table and said, "Hey, we'll take." And Jeff said this too. Jeff said they took treason off the table, and he squealed like a pig, and he got to walk. So my prediction is going to be a lot more indictments and arrests coming here very soon, and there's going to be some big name people coming down.
Absolutely. Don't forget, these people knew about this way back in the day, Mike. Don't forget about that. They knew about all this different corruption and stuff that was going on. They knew it was a lie. And remember, I said Obama learned it through Brennan. So, that the chain and the links are deep, far, and wide with some top people. It's not just a few small people, it's across a lot of government. And there were a lot of people content that allowed it to go through and pass through their hands and get out there, and they're just as guilty. So, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot more. And this summer, I heard that there's going to be more too, because he's going to keep bringing more and more indictments. And to me, Mike,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to get more and more exciting, because he
Hot
started with the
summer.
little tadpole.
Hot summer.
Yeah,
It's a
hot
hot
summer,
summer.
hot
I mean,
summer.
you got to think about the summer. You got to think about the summer. You got
Okay,
Durham. You
okay.
got Greg Phillips and
Hmm.
True the Vote. You got Mike Lindell on the warpath. You
Yeah.
got Trump out there holding rally after rally after rally. I'm telling you, it's going to be one hot summer, and I believe, it's only my belief and it's only my opinion. I believe we're going to see a lot of things happen before midterms, and I think it's going to shock a lot of people.
I do. I agree with you too, because also Greg Phillips, who is the specialist that was behind the 2K Donkeys data and information, is saying, you know what, there is no people, you can say and try to discount this all they want to, but we have the geo tracking, we have all the evidence, we have it all. We have everything. So this is the second person that's been coming out saying that, because the first one obviously was Mr. T way back in the day, and I'll never forget
Mhm.
those words. We caught them.
He
We've got
said,
it all. We
"We
have
have,
everything. Go ahead.
we caught him, and we got it all." Who in their right mind would put a statement out there like that if he was just full of BS,
Exactly. Exactly. And
right?
it would have been discounted by now. And like you said, Mike, too, with Durham, everybody, first of all, they thought he was a fairy tale. They didn't think it was real. He was this caricature. They,
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. There were times that I wondered if Durham was real. I really did.
you were.
And the memes that came out, that's that guy. I was just sitting there when I seen him on the news. I go, that is Durham. Like, Durham is a pit bull, and he's on the warpath. So
I love seeing the actual man when he go in and out of court, and he just gives that
yeah,
fierce look. That
just
guy's bad arse. He's a tough cookie, and
I wouldn't
he's.
want him prosecuting my ass.
Oh, no way at all. But so remember, people thought that, and then people said, "Ah, nothing's going to happen. There's nothing happen." What do people not realize when it's a mass organization, multiple organizations that is so big and extends everywhere, it takes a long time to get it all together because they're going to try to get through loopholes and everything else. It's got to be, sealed tight, nice and tight before you take
Airtight,
it in.
airtight,
There you
airtight,
go. Yeah.
airtight. Hey, folks, if you guys like Friday Night with Us, the special edition, please hit that like button and share this out. Share it out on all the social platforms that you guys have. I know there's a few people watching us over on Twitch. I put it out there on Truth Social. If you guys can retweet that, retweet it, send it out, greatly appreciated because we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight, a lot of topics to cover. As we wrap up the topic about Durham, I want to tell you what Dinesh put out today. I watched a little bit of Dinesh, one of my favorites. So here's two scenarios. John Estabrooks, he's playing poker tonight. John Estabrooks is out with the boys tonight, probably smoking a cigar and having a good time. I highly doubt he's listening to tonight because he's got to focus on the card.
On the cards,
But
yeah.
John always says we're living in two realities, and that's kind of what Dinesh hinted to today as well. There was two realities to the Durham trial. The first reality, I'm going to go with the first reality, was that this guy named John Durham must have been, and I'm saying this in my own words, okay? This is not Dinesh's words. This is LW's words. I'm just telling you, basically paraphrasing how it came out or how I understood it from Dinesh. John Durham, the pit bull, must have been pretty stupid, and the FBI must have been pretty stupid too, because in one reality, this man called Michael Sussman must have fooled them all. Must have fooled all the FBI, fooled everybody. Really took them for a wild ride. And that's one reality if you want to look at the results of the Sussman trial. The second reality is this. They set a trap. They fell for it. The FBI, Baker, and a bunch of them at the very top of the FBI were all colluding with the HRC campaign of 2016. The media outlets were also involved. The Obama administration was also involved. If you think about it in that reality, the statement that Trump said a while back about we got it all, we caught him, we got it all, I don't know if that just only pertained to one instance. I think it very well could have pertained to many different facets that they got it all. They've caught him on everything. When he made the statement when he was running in 2016 that we're going to drain the swamp.
Yeah.
Job ain't over yet, and he's never left.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. That makes so much sense. So much sense. And, I want to ask your opinion real quick on this, Mike. Bill Barr appointed Durham to special counsel in 2018. And Barr, they keep saying back and forth, oh, he's bad, he's not good, he's not done anything. My question is, do you think he's going to step up and step out like Durham did? Do you think he's holding back on something or not playing a part, but he's being reserved for a reason? Do you have any opinion on Barr? Because he's one that's been kind of absent.
Do I have any opinions at all, Tammy?
Does
a bear shit in the woods?
Yes, and you've seen it, smoking hot, fresh.
Steaming pile. That's what I think of the current administration. This is what I heard Trump say. And so this is not coming from me. This is coming from Trump.
Yes.
Trump said that Bill Barr got scared. The Democrats came after him. They attacked him really, really hard. And so he got scared and he backed off and he didn't do his job. Okay. He did not do his job like he should have done. Now, my opinion at this point is that I feel like as soon as the floodgates really start opening and things start popping like we've never seen it before, I think you may see Bill Bars finally step up and be a man and have the stones that he needs to do what he needs to do.
Good. Okay.
Just my
Fair enough.
opinion. Just my
That's fair
opinion.
enough. And there's nothing wrong with an opinion. That's why I asked because, we haven't heard much from him really. He came out the other day, I think, and said that it was a travesty what happened with Mr. T and stuff. Well, that's, more than a day late on that. But I wondered because he's one of the main players. He was one of the main players in the beginning. And
I
he's the
still
only
don't
one.
trust him. I don't
Yeah.
trust him.
Yeah. Okay.
He's going to have to prove himself to me.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. We're going to shift gears again. Here we go. So let's talk about Putin. Let's talk about Putin's health. And let's talk about what's going on over there.
One sec. I don't mean
tie
to.
that.
Can I? I don't mean to interrupt. I thought you were going to say poo because Patriot Starfighter said in there, Mike, did you ever scrape bear poop off your boots because you didn't see it? So you went poo, and I thought you were going to talk. Anyhow, sorry, that was just a little distraction there. I didn't want to be laughing when you were being serious. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I'm never serious, so
that's pretty good.
Let's kick the can. Let's kick the beehive and get these guys fired up tonight because
Okay.
I just want everybody to be wide-eyed and awake, not woke,
Right.
awake, and to all unite and get together on this situation and just have our voices be heard. And we've got so many great patriots out there that are on the front lines fighting each and every day, and they need our support, and I support them all. And I hope you guys will support them as well and just jump in this fight with us. For those of you who are new to the channel, to LWN from Twitch, from Frank Speech and True Social, welcome. And this is a special Friday edition. So, Tammy, Putin's health, the biolabs, and how Hunter Biden is connected to all of that. I've got some opinions on that, but I'm going to go ahead and let ladies go first. And let's have a conversation about that. And then I've got some other hot topics that I want to save till the very last. Some of them are hot potato hot. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, what do you want to talk about first? The biolab connection with
I want to talk about Putin and his health.
Okay, let's start with that. Well, I heard that is hearsay and it's not true. When you ask me about Putin, I know that he has done some very bad things. That goes without saying. But I'm on the fence of, well, not even on the fence. I'm on the side of the fence that I believe that he's going to come through and he is going to be a good guy. I cannot believe that Mr. T would be as close to him as he was and him still being a bad guy. I believe that there's a lot of bad activity in the Ukraine that they've want to get rid of for a long time, and I believe that's part of that with him. I believe that the soccer ball that he passed to Trump had something in there, and you watch him when he was at the summit with Trump, and the way that he respected and him and Trump shook hands and kind of hugged each other, and Putin walked past everybody else, but he gave Mr. T a big hug. I believe that there's been so much bad stuff over there that he couldn't do it by himself, that him and Mr. T teamed up, and I just believe that it's going to come out that he's good. Now, if he's sick, or there really is something going on, I don't know about that. I'm hoping that's not true. I don't know, Mike. I'm hoping that it's not true.
Okay, so this is what I know. This is what I've heard. I don't have any facts to this. This is just things that I've picked up and conversations with people that I've had. Obviously, we heard that Putin is sick and he's got some terminal cancer issues, which I believe deals with his blood. Now, the conversation I had earlier today about this is, how did that get leaked?
Oh, yeah.
How did that get leaked? And when it gets leaked, isn't that a national security concern? Now, you got to think for just 1 minute. The lamestream media, Communist News Network and such, they push the narrative that this guy is a maniac. He's out of his mind. He's going to die in less than 2 years. So what does he have to lose? He's willing to push the old nuke button. He's willing to do whatever it takes to cause chaos and that's the lamestream media's narrative and agenda that they constantly push on Putin, right? Now, I'm pretty neutral when it comes to Putin. Just me personally, I don't know what to think of Putin quite yet. Do I think that he is a good guy? I think he's really trying hard to do the right thing, in my opinion. But I'm just still waiting for the shoe to drop, I guess, so to speak. Has he gone in and cleaned up biolabs? I believe he has.
Mm-hmm.
Is he trying to get rid of a Nazi regime? I believe he is. So why would they push the narrative? They push the narrative to paint a picture that Putin is a bad guy. I did hear Trump speak recently on an interview, and the guy asked him, "When's the last time you talked to Putin?" Now, I don't know the timestamp on the interview. Something I just picked up real quick. And Trump, it could have been 2 years ago, right after the inauguration of old Puddin Pants. But
Uh-huh.
Trump said, I haven't talked to him since I was president. Now, when I listened to that answer, I didn't believe it. Just say it. I didn't believe it. I did not believe for 1 second that Trump hadn't talked to Putin in a while. I believe Trump talks to Putin quite often. Just my personal opinion. I do not have any facts of that. I don't have phone records or any of that stuff. But I look at those two men as world leaders, and
Mm.
Trump is still president. So he is going to, in my opinion, be in constant communication with Putin, with a bunch of leaders, and that's just only my opinion.
Well, and the thing is, too, if he was going to hit the nuke button, wouldn't he have done it by now? What's he waiting for? You know what I mean, Mike? Seriously, it's absolutely absurd. It's that fear factor that they put out there, the media, along with some of these leftists. That it's all fear, fear, fear. Look at he's the bad guy. Look at the bad guy. They painted Mr. T out to be the bad guy as well. And don't forget, in the Ukraine, there were many, many biolabs there, and they were going to supposedly spread out bad stuff across the world, and that was taken out. And I followed what was going on there very closely. There was somebody that was showing what was going on, like where the military was, what they were doing, and all of a sudden those images and everything, they've gone away as far as I know. So what's going on? How did it go from the front of the news to now? They're trying to wheel in monkeypox, but we'll talk about that maybe a little later. But it doesn't make any sense to me. And for him to do all he's done, Putin, I don't see him giving it all up for the sake of being crazy. I don't. I mean, wouldn't Kim Jong Un have done that by now? Because isn't he Rocket Man?
He is Rocket Man. I believe Trump's. I believe it's hard for me to believe. Well, I don't believe. Okay, this is a complicated answer.
That's
One,
okay.
I don't. One, I don't believe that Biden's in control of anything. I don't believe Biden is president. I don't believe I don't believe any world leader respects him or even thinks he's in control. I believe, it's my opinion, that Trump's still dealing with a lot of the world leaders. I mean, look at
Yeah.
what an embarrassment this administration is,
Oh
and
yeah.
you're telling me that that this guy is in control of anything. He's out of control. He has no control over anything. So when it comes to Putin, I think there's still a relationship between him and Donald Trump. And then when we talk about the biolabs, that was conspiracy. Remember, there was two
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
There was two things. Biolabs were conspiracy. Hunter Biden's laptop from hell was conspiracy. Now they both seem to come out to be conspiracy fact. And Hunter Biden has connections with the biolabs.
Oh, absolutely. Hunter Biden has connections all over through all those places, and that's coming out. Don't forget all the information off his laptop that got released and is getting verified and certified by different people, different experts, saying that, all this information coming off his laptop, these thousands and thousands of emails and different things are getting verified and certified because they have to do that. Otherwise, people can say, oh, that was tweaked or that was changed. So that's going to take a while as well. But I've seen
How
a lot of.
about the phrase, How about the phrase, Tammy? I'm going to go back to the phrase.
Huh.
We caught him and we got it all.
I mean, you can't get any simpler and yet complete as that, can you? You
Now
can't.
do you understand why I think that phrase meant more than just November of 2020?
Oh, absolutely. I agree. I'm going to agree with you
Am I
100% on
connecting am
that.
I connecting some dots for you?
Yeah, you're connecting some dots, and you're not as the skeptic that you were. Ugh, God, see, you can reach people, everybody. You can reach the tough minds. But yeah, I believe it's everything, Mike. I believe that man uh, worked hard, and he got so much accomplished, as well as digging up dirt and taking care of dirt. And don't forget, Mr. T, when he endorses people, Mike, he either endorses them for the good because he thinks they're going to do good for this country, or he endorses them for the bad to expose them.
To
So
expose them.
don't forget that too. And this is a little off topic, but it ties into what I just said. David McCormick, this just came out from Real America's Voice, concedes the Pennsylvania GOP Senate primary to Dr. Oz.
Victory. Victory. We are winning.
Wait, let's do the V. Victory. So, I mean, I thought that was right before we came on, man. I was like, oh my gosh. It said that he failed. McCormick obviously failed to secure Donald Trump's endorsement in the race. So he conceded, and here we are. Now, that's another thing, Mike. People aren't great about Mr. Oz, don't have great thoughts about him, and they're like, how can Mr. T do that? Well, it's a wait and see, because either it's going to be a good thing and people are wrong about judging Dr. Oz, or there he is, he's front and center, and he's going to be exposed. So the
Yep.
point is, I have faith and trust in his judgment calls. And that's why when he's friends with Putin, I trust his judgment.
So Sussman rolled, and he sang
Yes.
like a canary. Galena Maxwell rolled and sang like a canary. I think the next canary, the next bird to sing, will be Hunter Biden himself.
Yeah, because he doesn't love Daddy very much at all. And we can tell from the things that have been said in those emails, the things that he's done. He's always felt less than. Remember in the one, was it a voice message or something? He said, don't worry, I'll make sure to take care of you, unlike Big Daddy or Daddy did. And Hunter he never had a love for his father for many different reasons. And he was the one, the pawn that his father, his family used to send across these different countries, making these bad deals, that are good for the family, line their pockets.
Yeah.
But
so I did the numbers on that.
Okay.
Headline hits. I put it out, and Hunter Biden, for the entire Biden family, he has really set them up for, I think it was something like the next 30 years. He has went out there and raked in enough money for the entire family to be set up. It's over 50% of their financial income, and he's pretty pissed off about it, really. He said, in comments, the text that came off of the laptop from hell, he made comment to his sister, "You're welcome. I'm glad I could do all the hard work for you guys, and I'm glad Papa takes his big chunk, big man, Papa, whatever you want to call him." But he's not a happy camper. And I believe that he is going to roll over and sing like a little sissy in a federal prison. That's what I think.
And really, if you think about it, it's the perfect get back at his family for what he was put through / forced to do. Yeah, he's done bad. We don't have to go there and go that deep.
He's got the last card.
There
He's
you
got
go.
the last card.
There you go. That's a good way to put it.
He's got the ace. He's got the ace, and he's gonna play his ace. Here's Z-Man here. I think he's referring to, and I'm just assuming here, Z-Man, but I think he's referring to the fact that Donald J. Trump, as far as I know to date, which is today is June the 3rd of 2022, still has not conceded.
Yes, that's another point well made that we forget from time to time. So that
still
is
not
the truth.
Conceded. He still has not conceded.
He's a fighter. He's a leader. He's a great guy. I mean, you don't have to like him for his let's say Rico Suave way, an ability of sugar coating things to your ears that you want to hear the nice, gentle way you want to hear them. You know, it's the pretty outside package with the dirty insides. It's not that way with him. Politicians are groomed and know how to tell you what you want to hear to get the votes and stay in there. Mr. T didn't do that. He gave you the cold, hard truth, and he didn't care who it affected. You were either on America's side, his side, God's side, or he called you out. And I respect that.
All right, well, stay tuned. Stay tuned, folks. Hit that like button if you like tonight's special edition. Share it out if you can, all over the platforms. We've been actually, our numbers have been increasing pretty rapidly lately, so appreciate that for all you guys who are doing that for us. It is a huge help to build the base, but I do have a couple more hot potatoes that I want to talk about at the end of tonight's show, so stay tuned. Tammy, I want to talk about something that Jeff brought to my attention as well, which is Monkey. And Monkey put some stuff out. It was either today or yesterday's episode, and it was talking about the ATFs. Now, do you know what an ATF is?
No, go ahead and explain it to me.
All right, so the ATF is a designated area where air traffic is not allowed to go through that area, or if it is, it has to be a specific air traffic or allowed to go through there. Um, there's presidential ATFs that no traffic is allowed to go through, right? But I guess, and I got to go in and watch this. I'll probably watch it tomorrow while I'm working. I guess Monkey found a new program or new software that shows military ATFs. So,
Ooh.
do you know what a military ATF is?
That's no, go ahead. I'm going to let you explain. Educate me.
A military ATF, from my understanding, what Jeff explained to me was a military ATF means only military aircraft can go through that area.
That area. Okay.
And what Monkey, I guess, had put out, I have not verified it yet or checked or seen. Maybe some people in the chat have seen it, that there are all kinds of military ATFs all over the country. Now, of course, me being the skeptic, I could always say, well, that's probably a pretty normal thing. Military bases, I'm sure, have ATFs. I'm just throwing that out there. But Monkey seems to think that he's on to something, and so I'm going to start paying a little more attention to what Monkey's putting out, because I like Monkey. I think he's a great guy, a great patriot, a great God-fearing man, and so I don't know. He just, from what Jeff was telling me, it just seems like he was scratching something, and I want to find out what that itch is.
Definitely, you know, I followed Monkey religiously for hours a day, and I learned a lot from him when it came to the different flights, like Air Force One, Air Force Two, who rides on what, because there's a whole fleet of presidential planes. And, you know, I've talked about it before. For a long time, there was no Air Force One flown other than across the country to Europe that one time. And once it left the United States airspace, or America, you know, our airspace, get over there, then it flipped to Air Force One on the way back. Same thing, it went to NA, because the NA is, you know, but there's different tail numbers and there's a different fleet. So it is very interesting, and it is pretty easy to follow if you start watching him. And it is very, like I said, interesting when you see the different trainers, and there's a lot of like different things up when they shouldn't be in different locations, like when those submarines were going off the east and west coast.
Oh yeah.
Remember all that? Like, I was following him during all that. That was pretty cool, with the different trackers of planes and the doomsday plane when it goes up and when it comes down. It's like, it's very fascinating. So with that said, with what you said about Monkey, I'm definitely going to have to check that out as well.
I think people should pay attention to Monkey. I follow Monkey as well. He's got a new app out. Like I said, he's somebody that I respect, and I think he's got great information. He's got all kinds of new software now too, so
Wow.
it's pretty neat. He can do 3D, some really neat 3D looking stuff. So anyway, I'm just putting that out there, folks. Pay attention to Monkey, and I'm going to tie what Monkey is talking about for the military ATS with some of the last hot potatoes I have for the night. I'm gonna just spin my opinion to you guys and see what you think, Tammy. See if I could be over the target. But anyway, pretty unique stuff happening in America today and around the world, and a lot of stuff that I just want to say it's a great time to be alive. So I'm going to shift gear one more time. Well, probably a couple more times, but this one here, I said it the other day. I'm going to say it again. I brought it up to Jeff. He took it to somebody else. They took a look at it. They asked somebody about it, and that somebody said that they wouldn't talk about it. Let's just put it that way.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
So here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the fact that I have yet to see, and I would encourage anybody in chat to correct me if I'm wrong. Do it kindly, please. But I am wrong quite often. But I haven't seen yet where Joe Biden has ever done a press conference or press release from the White House. I argued that point this afternoon with Jeff when I told him, well, I thought that he had done one in the Rose Garden. And I said, remember, Jeff, they had put one out. It was probably over a year ago out of the Rose Garden. And then there was a gentleman and his wife, or a gentleman and his girlfriend, that were in a hotel room or a building, kitty corner, and they were filming it the entire time and listening to the television. And Jeff said, but remember, they didn't hear any applauses. And I said, oh, that's right. And they didn't hear a siren go by when a siren went by. So I just want to talk about that for a quick minute. And thank you, Trucker 2022, for the super sticker. Much appreciated. I just want to talk about that for a minute. Have you ever seen him do any kind of press release from what looks like to be the real White House?
No, everything looks fake most of the time. And there's not the noises that you normally would hear. Like when he's out on the lawn, sometimes I think I talked about this the other night, Mike, that there's never that lineup of press taking pictures going, Mr. Biden, trying to get comments about anything out on the lawn either, like Mr. T. And everything looks staged. It's always staged. How can there, if he really is in there, how can there be so much out there appearing that he's not? It's all weird. Why would this even be an issue if he was in there, Mike? We wouldn't
Why are we talking about it, Tammy?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I told you, down here in Georgia, there's a place that
We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones talking about it.
Well, that's kind of interesting. Here in Georgia, there's like a mock-up of one here, and you know what? There was a lot of action. People were putting out videos and stuff down here with that, and the whole Easter Bunny thing was so bizarre. That was creepy as heck. That was like that bunny coming out with that thing, and it was so quiet, and he's like, thank you for coming," and I'm like, I hear crickets. There's nobody out there. He's talking to nobody. It was like, what was this clown world? You know, you can only call it the Twilight Zone or clown world, a circus. It's just not normal. There's nothing normal about it. Yeah, Tyler Perry's studio, Diane. That's right. So that's my opinion on that. Nothing seems legit with him going anywhere near it.
As I always like to highlight Biden and what he can't seem to accomplish, or his unsuccesses, I have been reporting on Headline Hits for quite a while about the fact that everything is staged. Even when he went to go take a vaccine, it was staged. It was all staged. They're on. Thank you, Ruth Fulmer, for the super sticker. Really appreciate it. That was all staged. And this is the deal, Tammy. Even lamestream media talks about how this current administration does press releases and stuff from a studio across from the White House. Now, those are not my words. Those are lamestream media's words. They talk about it. I've never seen him do anything from the Oval Office. Here we are, rolling up on, almost 2 years. What are we, 16 months in, 18 months in, nothing from the Oval Office. He went on and told America in the last 12 to 24 hours that he was going to do whatever it took to take our guns. And he didn't do that from the Oval Office. He did that from some state where he happened to be
Yeah, yeah.
chasing an ice cream truck, and he turns around and says, "Oh,
This
hey,
was
by the way, I'm going to take your guns." It's unbelievable. It's actually so unbelievable that we're not the only ones talking about it.
Well, that's fascinating. I wanted to bring up too. I have this picture, but you can't see it from my phone. But remember the days of the boot when everybody was booted on their legs? That certain boot that said they it hid. So Mr. B had the boot not long after his inauguration, and it was on his right leg. Well, there's the
I
picture that I
remember
have.
seeing that.
Yep.
I remember
Then
seeing it.
there's pictures that come out and it's on his left leg. So he can't even know which leg got hurt because he's got boots on both sides, both legs. So that's just, he can't even get that right. So that's kind of makes you go, at least put the boot on the same side. If he fractured, because didn't he fracture it from falling in the shower over his dog or something weird like
No,
that? He
Rebecca
tripped.
says he tripped on a dog.
Yeah, tripped on the dog. Okay, that's right, not the shower, the dog. So, he can't even figure that out. But, and also, this picture, Donald J. Trump tweeted it out, and he said, "Get well soon."
He did say that.
He did.
He did say
So,
that. So here's who's talking about it.
dun, dun, dun,
And
dun.
as soon as I heard this, I caught the news clip, I heard it, and immediately I called Jeff and told him about it. So Fox News came out, and I don't know if it was on the Sean Hannity show or if Sean was on like one of those afternoon shows, but Sean Hannity was on there with Michaela McInerney, right? Did I get
Hmm.
her name right? Did I get
Just
her
let's
name
call
right
her
this time?
Kayla. I don't know. Let's just
All
call her
right,
Kayla.
All right, and you and I already talked about this the other day, but I want to bring it up again because they talked about how everything that he does is all studio work. It looks fake, right? And both of them made comment that that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. So that's what I'm saying. This was actually taken up the chain to a couple of other people, and one individual said that they won't even talk about it. That's not what was the quote. That's no concern of ours. Like they already know what's going on. So um, I don't know. Just I really feel like we're about to the red curtain is going to be pulled back and everything's going to be revealed.
I believe it too. And the media there, that was also different things talked about once the media started flipping here and there. And granted, they're not all 100%, but look at what has happened to CNN and how they're flailing around and not doing very well. And a lot of their so-called professional anchors got taken down and called out. Don't forget about the Como brothers, those wonderful men of society, those two men, and at Fox, I do believe there's still some good ones at Fox, but the media is starting to flip a little bit, and we were told that was one of the things that was going to happen, one of the components or pieces to this puzzle, and it is here and there, even on different articles online with the New York Post and Wall Street Journal and different ones like that. They'll put out an interesting article, and I'm like, oh, where's this coming from? So we are starting to see that change just a wee bit.
I think we are. You just really cannot write any better script than what we're seeing right now. It is by far the craziest thing that I've ever seen. I think any of us have ever seen, and I think it's just a matter of time before the movie gets to the credits. It gets to the end, and I don't think that I'm watching a movie. I'm just saying eventually this has to end. It has to get to the ending part, and I think with Durham, with Hunter Biden, with all the stuff that we're seeing through the vote, everything happening right now, I really believe we're getting real close to the very end.
Yeah, and we still have some pieces of the puzzle though to be exposed and put out there, Mike, because I'm going to bring this up. This just got recently released today. The three-letter agency that begins with the C that is concerned about our health, they announced they will be initiating an emergency response to monitor and investigate monkeypox after recent cases suggest that the disease may be spreading through person to person community transmission. And now I reported that it is less, there's different ratios, like I forget what the name of the actual ratios, but the first C word that we've been exposed that has all the variants was a number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Monkeypox is a number 1, which means it's easily contained and not easily spread person to person. Your one person is less than one, likely to spread it to one person. Okay, but we talked about that because one of the side effects of this little thing is shingles, and the special treatment that they have, that they bought millions of dollars worth to treat this monkeypox, also treats the smallpox, and it also shingles is a side effect of the first C word. So that's just some information for people to put together. I didn't think they would go through with this at all, but this came out today that they're putting a really investigative emergency response. Remember what happens when they say emergency, right?
Yes. Yeah, they take advantage of that. And don't forget that it's actually the Biden administration that wanted to turn medical authority over to the WHO. And that
Yes.
way they could come in and tell us that we have to shut the country down if they deem us unsafe, unhealthy, or whatever, if we have some kind of pandemic going on. I'm getting ready to wrap this up. And Bubba, your comment in chat, that's the direction that I'm headed next. Just so you know, that is the direction that I'm headed next. 305. 305.
5. We need shirts. We need shirts. Like, he has to come out with shirts like that for sure, because it's an amazing number, and that's the for sure number. It could even be more, but I'll settle for 305 for sure. And
Well, it was for sure. It was definitely 305. So
yes. Yes. And I'm going to say too, Scavino put out a statement yesterday, and he said, one day the people that didn't believe in you will tell everyone how they met you. So all these people that don't like Mr. T or think that he's just an orange bad man with mean tweets, someday you will appreciate that man for sure. And I can't wait, because I'm going to meet him someday, even if I have to become a stalker and get arrested. No, I'm kidding.
well,
But someday.
if everybody listening right now, if you haven't hit that like button and you like tonight's special edition Friday night, hit the like button, share this out, subscribe to us. Really appreciate it. Anybody in chat that believes November of 2020 the results was 305, put it in the chat. I'd like to see how many 305s we got in the chat, because I'm telling you right now, November of 2020 was such a massive landslide, it wasn't even close. And so I'm getting ready to talk about that here in just a minute. I want to wrap the show up with some really good intelligent conversation between Tammy and I. There we go. There's all the 305s. 305, 305. I'm going to get
what a beautiful number.
I'm going to get a gold necklace that's 305. Big old chain. Big old chain and 305.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Blue Jean Baby said, what does 305 mean? Tell Blue Jean Baby what it means, Mike.
305 was the real count on November of 2020 with the electorals. It was not in Biden's favor. It was 305 Trump.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Chew on that. It's a huge number. Huge number. And like I've said many times, the man looks like he doesn't have a worry in the world. He's dancing and moving. He's got his little presidential shuffle.
How does he do it? How does he do that, Tammy?
He goes
Show
like
us the Trump shuffle.
He does this, and then he goes, and then he points at everybody, and he goes, he puts a little in there, and he's
Yeah,
like,
that
get
little.
it.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you did it! You did it! Yeah, you weren't ready to do that before. Boy, nice, Mike.
Yeah, there's all kinds of letters in the alphabet. That one just happens to be everybody's favorite. All right, let's wrap it up. Here's the last conversation for tonight. I want to talk about what Snafu put out today. I'm gonna tie some of that stuff to the military ATFs. I want to talk about the executive order that if there's any kind of interference, then that competition is null and void. And I want to talk about what I was told today. The old Mark Sucker is now going to be caught up in some stuff that happened in that specific competition as well, that event. And I guess somebody had put that out like 4 days prior, and all of a sudden now Mark's in the news. So here we go. I'm going
Okay.
to tell you right now, the switch is getting flipped, and we're seeing it in real time, and it's going to be amazing what we see. So Snafu put out today, and I still have yet to have the time to really follow up with it. But don't forget, Mike Lindell, and I'm sure Greg Phillips has also said this, and a few other people. They're supposed to hold the election of 2020 and all the results, all the paperwork, everything, videos and everything for, what is it, 22 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, September the 2nd is exactly 22 months.
Oh, wow.
September the 2nd. Okay. So what do I mean by that? Well,
yes,
there were executive orders signed, and Trump signed them, and I believe even Biden signed it as well, that if there was any kind of outside interference, that was going to it was going to avoid the whole process there. I got to be careful what I say.
yeah.
Now, September 2nd is coming up here real soon. It's a few months off, but it's coming. It'll be here really quick. Then we got the military ATS, which again, I don't know much about that. I have to go check that out with Monkey, because I'm sure every military base in America has a military ATF, but there's something there that Monkey's smelling, and so I'd like to see what that is. And then you got Zuckerberg that's now in the news, and I believe that he's going to be in some hot water too. So here's what I think is happening. I think that military has been placed across the country for a very good reason. I think we're going to see some things happen out of the Supreme Court. That's why there's fencing still up. That's going to really shock the world. I think it's going to change a lot of stuff, and I think there's going to be something that Monkey's going to find here on these military ATFs that's going to make a lot of sense. It's going to connect a lot of dots, and I think stuff is going to happen. Like I said, I think it has to happen before midterms, or we're in some serious trouble. So could that happen by September the 2nd? I don't know. I don't have answers for that, but I can tell you there's a lot of things that point in that direction, Tammy.
I agree with you on that. So much is coming out, and it's, this not like this is a wham bam quick thing. This is, I believe, planned out for a very long time to counter the corruption and the stuff that's been going on for decades. And it just took the right person in there to do that. And I think that Mr. T was that person. And we are in a great time to be living here. It's a time of enlightenment, spiritual growth, higher vibration.
Oh,
And
TFR. I'm sorry. TFR. Thank you. I just got a text. It's a TFR. I'm saying ATF, which is alcohol or yeah, whatever.
All-terrain vehicle. It's okay.
All-terrain vehicle. Thank you for correcting me on that. It's a TRF.
Which
I
It's a
get those things
no-fly
mixed up.
zone.
I got
It's no big deal. It's a no-fly
yeah.
zone. That's basically what I've always heard it. It's a no-fly zone. But yeah, I agree too, Mike. So much different stuff has been out there. And if people go back and you start thinking about it from the time this started up to when Mr. T didn't win to the inauguration of Mr. B, we thought that that was going to be the throwdown. But you know what? In reality, to show people, I see now when they say sometimes you have to show people, I see that now because I had no idea how wide and deep this swamp was. And when Mr. T calls it a swamp, he means it's a swamp. And we've watched people flip sides left and right. And I just, you know, I love this country and I love the people in it. And I'm just looking forward to seeing them get knocked down one by one by one, because I don't believe there's going to be any person left standing that did wrong against this country and the people. And don't forget, we didn't even get into, and we won't, but the children. That was the main thing. We got to save the children. And day after day, I still see articles about these people being arrested for these sex traffic rings and all across
There was a
around
couple of
here.
big ones that just happened again. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we've said it in the beginning of this that if you can't stand up for your children, then what is the point of even being human beings? We aren't human at all if we can't fight for our children and grandchildren. That would be awful. There's no going back after this.
Yep. Yep. It's I've said this before. If we would have got our wish and Trump would have, how do I want to say this? He won. We all know that
Yeah.
he won. But if it hadn't have got a course change by the cheating left, we would have never known half of what we know today. So I'm grateful actually for what I know now and the things that I've seen in the last 24 months, because it's really awakened me up and it's really showed me a lot of what I mean, I thought it was bad. It's a lot worse than I thought, and remember Trump saying we're going to give the power back to the people and we're going to
Yes.
drain the swamp.
Absolutely. And one moment that sticks in my mind is when he got inaugurated and the military walked up behind him. I watched that over and over. That was a visual for people. Not just the audio of him saying that, but the visual. That was amazing. And Mike, you look back at the different things that he did and the way when he was at the Army Navy game and he walked into that venue and it was so loud that the military respected that man. I've never heard
Hmm.
of the military turning their backs on the president, their commander in
No,
chief, like
ever.
they've done Biden. How many times have they done that to him?
Hmm. No,
So
quite a few. And so have the first responders. I mean, he was overseas and they were having a pizza party, and I think they had to like beg or pay 12 service members to actually show up because
oh yeah.
nobody's there. Nobody's home. And it's obvious. And this whole portrayal of this is the current administration and I am the president. It's all a bunch of hogwash, and I don't believe it, not for 1 second. And we're gonna end the show kind of there for tonight. We're gonna roll into final thought, Tammy. And it's been a fun evening. I appreciate all you that showed up tonight for Friday night. This isn't a normal thing for me anymore. So thank you for all the likes and the shares. I've seen a lot of them go out. There's a lot of shares going out right now.
Good.
So I appreciate that. And thank you for the super chats and for the conversation that you guys shared with us tonight. It's actually been a very fun one. The other two guests that I invited couldn't make it tonight. So we'll catch them on the next one.
Yeah, yeah. It's Friday. It was Friday Fire, Mike. I think it was an amazing show. Where's Mark? But I think that it was a great night. It was fun to do. Um, I loved it. Thanks for having me on. And it's always good to talk to the people on this channel and hear and see their perspectives as well, because, they bring out information as well. And that's part of a community, that's part of a family. And like I've said many times, and I will not change that, LWN is a family, it's a God movement, it's a patriotic movement, and I'm honored to be part of it.
Absolutely. Well, what's your final thought for tonight, Tammy? I'd like to get your wrap on this. And I want to say real quick, because Tracy's putting it out there, Lone Star Sunday is back on this Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with Jay and Tina. So if you guys want to catch that Sunday morning, they'll be on LWN Trinity. Jay and Tina are very excited about coming back, and I'm looking forward to watching their show.
Me too. I'm going to say it was great to bring this to the forefront and talk about this, Mike. It needs to be done. And I feel blessed to be able to do it. We went down memory lane yesterday. Today, we're just putting forth the fact that we have to every day be diligent, vigilant, and pay attention to what's going on, because the stuff they're trying to sneak through, which you said, the Second Amendment stuff and that, I didn't see some of that today. So I think it's important to get on and share that with people. And I love it. So good show, fun times. And that's my final thought. God bless everybody. And hey, I'm glad to be alive. It is America. It's still America.
I'm going to leave with this, Tammy, and then I'm going to hit the ending video. Thank you guys for all the likes. Thank you for all the shares. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for the super chats. I'm going to say this. We caught them, and we got it all. Have a great night, folks.
Bye.
All right.
Hoping for a sincere performance, but open to finding the moment, to finding out where I'm headed now. Looking for a sign of disaster, so I can make it there faster. I'm weighing the consequences out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side. Can you tell me the secret of how you can take it or leave it? How you can blend in with the crowd? I'm so scared, so damn afraid to look. I'm so sick of talking. I'm wearing the words out, words out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make the back.